sitting here denying.
I'm not denying.
You spirited. Stop lying. Let me show you right there. That's what you did.
No,
that's what you just did to his wall.
In this latest episode, Angela has showed us the exact atrocious behavior that led Michael to run and fast. Let's get into it. Hi guys, welcome back to Nikki Faces Reality. We're here to discuss Angela and Michael in the latest episode of 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After. I hope you are all doing well. Before we get into this Michael and Angela segment, if you've been through some things in relationships and you just can't really intake that kind of material right now, please do watch this another time because this episode was really nasty. This episode can bring up some unwanted, some past feelings, and I want you to take care of yourself. You could always watch this later. I appreciate you being here anyway. But yeah, you guys, seeing how fast Angela can like switch on you and how quickly into him being in America it starts to happen was really illuminating. Not that I expected her to become Mother Teresa when he arrived to America, but I did think that it would kind of delay. I thought that a lot of her actions were stemmed from insecurity, but no. It comes from power. It comes from wanting power, wanting control, and it rears its ugly head early, okay? So let's just jump in. Before we do, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe because it really does help me, and thank you to all the new faces. But yeah, Michael is in America. You see his first real day. He's like getting in Angie's sports car. He's like, I'm too big for this. Honestly, she's too big for it. I don't know what she's doing with a sports car. They're like driving around and she, it's a big deal that she's driving for some reason. I never realized that she never drove in Nigeria or anywhere that they've been. So, it was like a culture shock for him to like, one, be in a car with her where she's driving, but also looking around and seeing just like how there's nothing. And she, funny enough, I found this funny, but I know it's not funny. She's like, yeah, I want you to memorize the road so that you know how to get around. And I'm like, yeah, he sure did. When he ran from your ass, he sure did. We also see him spend more time with the million grandchildren. Angela makes no secret that she wants Michael to be really hands-on with the physical labor in the home. And I understand that, like, everyone has to do their part. It's just the way that she, like, talks about it that I don't find funny, And it also baffles me that I would think that someone that has black grandchildren would care for optics of things and would care about certain things that she says. And yeah, those kids, bless them, is all I gotta say on them. But they got Michael putting up Christmas lights and these kids are just roasting him. I'm from New York. I'm used to kids roasting each other. I wouldn't dare to roast an adult. I just feel like that's a line that you don't cross. They are Angela's grandchildren, okay? And they're roasting his ashy feet. I don't think it was that ashy. I've seen far worse. But they were like, Michael,
you got some crusty, dirty feet. You need some lotion. Oh, you're right, Book. I'm gonna get him some foot care and some lotion, some skin care. You're gonna need it.
Yeah.
My skin is dry. Screaming.
Is this how the kids behave here in America?
And Michael was just like, kids in Nigeria do not speak to their elders like that. So I'm like, yeah, they're hazing you into the house. That's crazy. He has to deal with many Angelas and Angela and Skyla and her other daughter. Oof, pray for Michael. There are just so many of them. Like, as cute as they are, as funny as they are, I would be overwhelmed because it's just constant, like, chatter, constant laughter, constant bickering, constant everything. Like, there's just so many people. And it's not like you can hide out in your room because Angela has left it in some rough condition. So he's going to have to do, like, 8 hours of labor before he could, like, find the floor. Now we're at the meat of their segment, okay? They're off to dinner to meet up with Skyla. And oh boy, this is when things take a turn. First of all, it starts with the most awkward interaction, which I was like, ooh. So they come in and like Angela hugs Skyla, and then Skyla like hugs Michael, and Angela is like, that's enough, that's enough. Skyla's like, I don't want your man.
Say hello to your stepdaddy.
Hey, Michael.
Back off, Skyla.
I don't want your man,
I
Mother.
can't tell.
And automatically I'm like, does Angela consider herself an equal to her daughter? Like, what? That's so weird. That's such a weird dynamic, because what we've seen up to now is her wanting to prove Skyla wrong and this like push and pull with her daughter. But she's acting like her daughter is a frenemy. It's very strange. Automatically I'm like, whoa, this is loaded. Like, the layers of this relationship. So they're at this barbecue place. Angela's friends with the owner, and she really wants Michael to like get immersed into her culture and all the things that he has missed out on that she probably has mentioned. Totally understandable. He's like trying to figure out what certain things are. I think he thought that chicken fingers were actually fingers. I get that, because in a lot of cultures people eat like chicken feet. So he's like, chicken fingers? Like, and they're trying to explain things like that to him. I thought that was really funny, and also like part of the experience. Totally fine. So she's trying to order for him, and he's like, I don't want that. And she's like, no, that's what you're getting. And automatically, a lot of people do this on this show, where I get that you're excited to like immerse your partner into your life, but there's a part of it that feels so like pressure, almost like you're hovering. And Angela does this a lot, but it's kind of, it makes me uncomfortable to see it like in America for some reason, because it just feels like it's kind of like the Nicole and Mahmoud thing. Like, I know better because I'm from here. I'm American. So like, you need to try this because I know it's good. Like, we are already seeing, just with this menu conversation, her removing his autonomy. The food arrives. She orders him shrimp and grits. I feel like grits is an acquired taste. That is not what I would order for someone like the first week that they're in. I feel like that's something that if someone orders it and you try it off their plate to see if you like it, but to get a full plate of it and not know if you like it, it's a waste of money. It also is a waste of a meal because he's gonna be hungry. So he gets it and he's, you know, like smelling the food, like tasting a little by little, and she is being so critical of him. And I'm like, let the man have his experience with his food. She wants to control every aspect of the experience, and it just makes me so uncomfortable. And I'm also like, Angela, you say you want a husband, but you are very comfortable treating him like he's your unwanted stepchild. It's weird, their dynamic, because she treats him like he's her child, or she treats him like they're like in some dumb relationship that he did not consent to. It's forced control, and it's unnecessary. Like, girl, just eat your meal and like relax. Just like let it flow. I know that people are always like, well, you know, he should have left her. He signed up for this. It doesn't matter what he signed up for. This isn't okay. And he looks uncomfortable, and he's just like, let me be. It gets worse. It gets worser, okay? She's eating hog meat. She's like, oh, I love this. I get this every time. It has a different taste. Here, taste it. He tries it. He doesn't like it. He's like, he does this. No food comes out, okay? You know when you have like something in your teeth and you're like doing that? He like did it to the side, right? Angela takes this action like the biggest disrespect in the world. And she's like, that's so rude, Michael. Why would you spit that? Why would you spit that? Why would you do that? And he's like, I didn't spit. And again, when we see the shot, he did do the spitting gesture. He did, which people do all the time. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying that it's the right etiquette. But there wasn't slobber coming out. There wasn't food coming out. He just did that, right? To give Michael the benefit of the doubt, which you would think that Angela would, since she was married to him all this time and has been in Nigeria, most of the restaurants that we have seen Michael in Nigeria have been outdoors. Like in the Dominican Republic, when people eat outdoors and they have something in their teeth, they just like spit it to the side. Again, not saying that's proper dinner etiquette, but I can understand how it can be second nature for him to do that, and he might have like done it and not thought about it, okay? So this is a moment of reflection. This is a moment where you can like tell your husband, hey, babe, don't do that. Like, that's not right to do. We're in this closed establishment. It's not what we do here. It's his day 2 in America? She acts like she doesn't know this man, like she doesn't know where he came from. And instead, I think that she reacts from a place of embarrassment. One, because this is her bestie's establishment and it's documented on camera. I get all of that. But instead of just, I think scolding is a lot. You don't need to scold me. Like, I'm not your child. I'm your partner. But I would have accepted that, right? Just like, don't do that. Since you're already treating him like your kid, right? No. Angela then is upset because he's denying that he spit. And she then takes a big old bite of her meat and then spits it at him. And you could see everything, like literally on his being. Purposely spit on him and said, that's what you did.
Dude, stop lying. Let me show you right there. That's what
You
you
don't
did.
know he's
That's what you just did to his wall. Don't tell me that one spit. That was rude. Excuse me, Skyla. That was rude. That's disrespectful to my friend's place.
And this is what I mean, that nothing that Michael could ever do will be equal to what Angela does to him. Absolutely nothing. She is literally so vile. You're mad at a little speckle coming out of his mouth that was to the wall. It wasn't to anyone else. And so to humiliate him, to make him feel small, you're going to throw your disgusting, dentured, yellow spit plus the hog meat on his being? And then your crusty daughter, who's constantly trying to call out what's right and wrong, doesn't call you out for being a menace? It's just so dehumanizing. The whole dinner, she's been asserting dominance for no reason. Like, y'all, this is just day 2 in America. And you're surprised that he left? I couldn't handle another day of this. He was there for like 2 months. I forget how many months, but like a trooper. Because she does things like that to him and everyone looks the other way. Again, instead of being upset, which is within his right, that she did that to him, he again is like trying to plead with her, like he gestures what he did. He's like, I didn't spit, I just had something in my teeth and I let it out. So she's harping on the fact that he denied spitting at all. And it's for some reason in her brain making her connect to the fact that he's always lying. So he's lying about this right in my face and I'm just so sick of him lying. No, that doesn't equal the other. You are disrespectful. And again, y'all, the optics of this. She treats him like he's property. He's acting out of line. Let me humiliate you. The outrage is extra and does not fit the crime. But let me put it towards a narcissist perspective, right? If you don't care for Michael, but you care about your objective leading up to this dinner was that you want Skyla to approve. You want Skyla to like him. So why not bite your tongue and keep things cute in front of Skyla? Instead, you erupt like this. Granted, you're her mother, and she's probably seen uglier from you. But you're trying to present your relationship as something worth fighting for, and you're going to fight your husband instead? Skyla looks embarrassed. Michael looks embarrassed. They're sitting there looking at each other's stupid faces because they're like, what do we do? What do we do, you know? Angela's outside taking a breather, and then she comes back in and like kind of fake apologizes. But it's like, but you were being rude. You don't do that. This is my friend's place. Guys, I don't care for any fake apology. Like, you're calling him rude, but then to combat the rudeness, you do something even more disgusting. Absolutely not. I think what baffles me the most, you guys, is that if you get on TikTok at any random hour, Angela is on a freaking tour, crying on TikTok, being like that she gets the villain edit, that we don't see the truth, we don't see the full spectrum. You are giving the material. No one is making you act like this. And in this scene, we saw the cause and the effect. We saw the full picture there. You are vile. I'm so deeply disgusted, and I honestly don't know how the producers can sit there and stomach that. When she comes back, they get back to the scheduled program of Skyla sharing her piece. She had already said that she was stunned that they were even meeting up together after all of the stories that she heard in Ivory Coast.
I just think there's a big communication issue. I mean, y'all act like y'all don't understand each other.
And she's basically like, I hope that my mom knows what she's doing because I simply don't care, but clearly you care and you make it my problem. I constantly have to hear about it. And Angela, of course, is getting defensive. She's like, you know, we've been together for a long time. I need to fight for my marriage. It's worth fighting for.
I think Mama just don't want to be proved wrong. So she is doing everything she can to make this relationship work. And she's scared of embarrassment. She's scared that everybody was right. And I think Michael is going to act right for a couple of days just because it's new and he's trying to feel himself out. But once he gets comfortable, I think, you know, the true Michael is going to show to all of us.
She's very defensive because after all, she wants Skyla's approval for some reason. Ultimately, she's like, listen, I understand how you feel. I feel like he has to prove things to you, but he also has to prove things to me. And the whole time they're talking about Michael, like he's not there. Like, ask him questions. Let him defend himself. But you guys are talking about him like, I just don't appreciate it. This whole scene made me really upset. I know that people get really weird about race, but like you would have to be blind to not see how the optics of this are just, they're scary. I just feel so bad for Michael that he was living in the deep south in a house where everyone is against him. He's constantly having to be on defense. People are telling him that they're watching him. It's already such an isolating experience to come here as an immigrant, but then to come into a home that's less than warm, that has this like hostile energy just as a default, no wonder he learned those back roads and bounced. But yeah, you guys, this spit scene was revolting, and if she felt so comfortable doing that on camera, I don't even want to imagine the things that go down when the cameras are off. Please let me know your thoughts on this scene in the comments. Please know that if you're in a situation like this, you don't deserve this. Please find a way at your time, at your pace to get out. Do not let your fear of loneliness have you stuck in a situation like this. You deserve so much better. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.